All right. All right, everybody. Take 3. We're going to do this. And hopefully you're joining back in. So I'm waiting to see some people join. There's Mike Wheeler. Hello, Mike. Thanks for coming back. All right. We'll give it a few minutes here. So Mike and anyone who is there now, basically, my guest has arrived and he's waiting in the background until we get some people in here. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. All right. All right. We got some people here. All right. T-Tom, Mary Ellen, Richard, good to see you. Roadtrip Dave, yes, we are back. Zippity, hey, Patrick, good to see you. And there is Steve's World. Hey, Steve. And there's Ryan, Shep Family, good to have you here. All right. Guys, thanks so much for joining. We've got this thing working. Tanner, good to have you here. Pam's fam, awesome. All right. So glad you guys could come back. I have my guest. He is waiting in the background. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to join. Hey, Keystone 76. Nice to have you here. All right. Richard, good to see you. We'll be down there end of January. Looking forward to being with you. All right. Don't forget to hit the like button. Okay. I'm just going to give everybody a couple more minutes. All right. All right, guys, let's start rolling this thing. All right. We got some great people on board, and I've got a great person who's waiting in the background here. And I am going to bring him on momentarily, but before I do that, I want to kind of explain what happened and what we decided to do. We're having a little game. What's my line? Basically, I've got a guest, and there's a good chance that you may not know him, but you'll be very interested in what he's done. And we're going to have a game where you guys can ask yes or no questions. So they got to be yes or no questions. But in this game, you can use the internet. So basically, what I'm hoping to happen is you're asking questions and he's going to answer them, I'm going to give you somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes to try to figure out who he is and what he's done. And whether you do or don't, it's all going to be great because he is going to be able to share a little bit about his past. And so let me see if I got everything covered here. And then at the end, I'm going to give you a chance to give him a chance to tell you about his story. And he's joining the live place as a streamer. He's been doing some live streams lately and contacted me. And when I saw what he had done, I thought it was so interesting. I thought, let's try this. So I am going to bring my guest, and the name that he's got on him is not his real name. So let me welcome my guest here.
Hey, everybody. Hi.
We did it.
Hey, we're here.
We are here. So I am going to ask. So it says Tony White and Tony. I may tell them your real first name because I don't think that'll give away anything. What do you think?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So I'm just going to tell you guys. Tony's real first name is Eric, and I'm going to do everything I can not to spill any clues. So this is Eric. It's got the name Tony White there. And he is my special guest. And basically, you guys, what I want you to do now is I want you to start asking yes or no questions. They are delayed. I'm using StreamYard, so be patient with me. Is that it is not Eric Mouse, Steve, but he's going to answer the questions. I'm going to highlight them. So what I want you to do is ask yes or no questions to kind of get down to who he is, what he's done, career, that kind of stuff. So you guys go ahead. Let's have some questions. Be patient with me because StreamYard is a little laggy. So anyway, Eric, thanks for doing this again.
Yeah, no, my pleasure, Dean. I'm excited. I'm excited to have this fun game show with you, and I'm excited also with the stuff we're going to do in the future, which you briefly mentioned.
That's awesome. All right, well, let's get this rolling. All right, I see. Let's see. So, Eric, can you see the highlighted comments that I put in there?
Yes.
Okay. Is this going? Roadtrip Dave said. Roadtrip Dave said, "Is this going to be like Kindergarten Cop? Who is Yo Daddy and what does he do?" Okay. Oh, who is your daddy? Okay. I haven't seen that movie. Okay, here we go. Eric, question number 1.
Okay. From Mike Wheeler. Was he ever on television? Yes.
Yes. Steve's World.
Steve's World. He looks like a radio personality. I think that's just... I actually did some voiceover on some shows related to Rick Dees and Scott Shannon, but I'm not a radio personality. So, but that was a good guess because of my voice, of course.
He has a good voice. All right, T-Town Mary Ellen.
T-Town Mary Ellen. Hey, is he a race car driver? No, I'm not a race car driver.
Thanks for asking the yes/no questions, everybody. And now here's a question from Pam's fam.
Did he have anything to do with Disney? That's pretty close. At one point in my career, I did have something to do with Disney. So you're starting to get closer.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandy and Dave. I'm going to assume that's Dave.
Okay. Does he know what wind paper is? No, I do not.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Welcome, Expedition Greg. All right, keep them coming, folks. They do lag a little bit, Eric. So.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the internet. Yeah.
And the software. All right. Let me jump over here real quick. Okay, so you guys are like Eric said, you're getting a little closer here with that last question. So. Let's get some more questions coming in here, folks. I didn't realize we could go through these pretty quick.
Yeah, it's going pretty good.
And I'm actually gonna throw out a few clues pretty soon if that'll help. Okay. Okay. Oh, I skipped one. I'll do this one first.
Okay. Roadtrip Dave, does his voiceover work include commercials? No.
Here's one from Mike Wheeler.
Mike again. Hi, Mike. Are you from Florida? No, I'm not.
All right, guys, I'm going to give you a little hint here. Somebody asked early on if he was an actor, and he is. So I would focus on that. Try to dig into that one a little bit. Oh, here we go.
Keystone 76. You guys are getting closer. I was a child actor.
That's a really good question, Keystone 76.
Steve's World, is your favorite color orange? No, it's not. Favorite color is blue.
Eric, I'm going to tell you that the questions that are coming now are coming from 4 streamers who formed the Dis and That crew.
Okay.
And I can tell they're on a theme here. So
I just said it out loud. Yeah, my favorite color is blue.
And here's the third person in that group. And here's the 4th person. So
well, I wouldn't say red or green. Back to blue, yeah.
Okay. Shep Family wins.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. Did you act on any Disney Channel shows? I didn't act directly on any Disney Channel shows, although a movie I was in was played on Disney a lot during the holidays for like about a 5-year period. And the Disney connection is the Disney back in the day when Disney had the Disney Movie of the Weeks on ABC, Magical World of Disney. I appeared in a Disney movie.
I think we're getting closer.
You're getting closer. You're warm.
Hey,
Hey,
World says, "Welcome to the community."
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, here's. Was this asked before?
It was not, but no, I was not. I was not on the Disney Channel, so.
Yeah. Here we go, Eric.
Okay. Well, yeah. The movies, the 2 movies I did that I'm the most known for are a part of Star Wars. So you guys are getting really hot.
Wow.
I was a star in a movie, yes. A few.
Yep. Oh, guess what?
Uh-oh.
We have a winner, I think.
Okay, Shep Family, looks like you won. That is the name of the movie that I starred in.
Okay, now what I want is somebody. I want somebody to, yeah, there we go.
Come to the dark side. No.
Now let's. I haven't seen his real name posted yet. You know, his first name is Eric. I said you could use the internet, so now we got some crazy questions coming here. Was he Baby Yoda?
Baby Yoda. No, but my wife loves Baby Yoda.
Are you watching Mandalorian?
Oh, you bet. We do reviews on it all the time, so.
Yeah. Let's see, what did Mike say here?
I have not done any Star Wars weekends when I've been at the studios.
All right, guys. Now we're giving Ryan the win here. He definitely honed in on it. Danny says, "Wow, really such an underrated movie at the live place." Yeah, I've read a lot about your Ewok adventures, and I've read some really amazing reviews. And it's an amazing story. And I think at this point, okay, and Steve's got it here. He found your name. So
hello, everybody. I am Eric Walker.
He's Eric Walker. Why don't you go ahead? So Eric, and you guys can start asking Eric questions. I'll try to put them up. But why don't you go ahead and tell us your story? How did you get started in acting? How did you end up doing the Star Wars movie and all that?
Well, I started acting when I was 6 years old. I did a Jack in a Box commercial. At that time, I played for a Pop Warner tackle football team, and they came out. Jack in a Box was looking to do a commercial, and they chose our farm team to do that. And I was about 6 or 7 years old at that time, and I loved it. I go, wow, geez, you get to eat Jack in a Box food, right? And you get also paid for this. And that was like quite a bit of money for a kid at the time. I was like 6 or 7. So my dad wasn't sure. I was too young at that time. He wasn't sure, if I was serious or not. So he made me beg him to make sure it's something I wanted to do. After, pleading with him for, 3 or 4 years, I finally convinced him to let me get into acting. I grew up here in a suburb of Hollywood in Los Angeles. I'm from Sherman Oaks, California, is where I was raised. And my sister went to school with one of the people that did one of the Pippi's Longstockings, and she had a couple agents' phone numbers. And because of my sister Teresa, thank you, sis, she called an agent. She set up some interviews. The first agent I went with was Beverly Hecht. She signed me. And then that started the process. And the Ewok movies came along. I was probably acting for 3 or 4 years before I got the Ewok movies. I did some television commercials as a kid. I did one for Revell Toys. Speaking of my love for toys, with the Star Wars toys behind me, I did a Revell Toys commercial. I played Griptog, the four-fisted brute. If you guys remember Griptog from the Revell and Adam Power series. And then finally, I was called to do an audition one day It was supposed to be for an after school special, a 1 hour TV movie thing. They didn't tell us it was for George Lucas and a spinoff of Star Wars. And it was for CBS at that time because George was more in tune with CBS. And eventually ABC outbid them and it went to ABC. But yeah, I just auditioned and I did a monologue that I had prepared and he liked it. And I guess it has nothing to do with the name Walker, Eric Walker. I'm not Skywalker. People ask that. But I think my audition said something to George and he handpicked me. And we did the Ewok adventure, which was also called Caravan of Courage overseas. It was actually a movie. It was a Star Wars movie everywhere else in the world. So we got cheated here in America and Canada. Even in Mexico, it was in a movie theater. It was a much better movie there. But yeah, I did that. I did the second Ewok movie where my Mace Towani is the name of the character. By the way, I'm the first Mace in the Star Wars universe.
Wow.
My character came before Sam Jackson's character, Mace Windu. So people call me the OM, which means original Mace.
Interesting. And do you know what Danny here means by "Are you in the 501 or Rebel Legion"?
I do know that, and I'm not. I've never been asked to become a member. I'm not a member. But if one day they make me an honorary member, if anybody is part of the 501st, I would welcome joining them. Yes, the 501st are in the Rebel. The 501st Legion is the Darth Vader's Legion. The Rebel Legion is the rebels. You know, the rebel scums. So Luke Skywalker and all them, and Princess Leia. Okay. But no, I'm not a member. But I would welcome membership in any of them.
Yeah, I never heard of it. Let me ask you this, and I have seen pictures of you working directly with George Lucas. What is George Lucas like?
He's kind of quiet. When he speaks, he kind of mumbles, so it's really hard to hear him. Very soft-spoken, but he knows what he wants. He's a genius. The way he sets up shots so quickly, it's just amazing. And a lot of people didn't think he directed until the prequels came out in 99 and 2000s, but he actually directed the reshoot on the Ewok adventure because the director had a prior commitment and he couldn't do the reshoots. And by the way, reshoots happen all the time, even on the Ewok movie. So everybody on the internet flipping out because they're still filming something that's so common. They're all tightening up stuff and doing reshoots, and even back then they were doing it.
I saw something on the very original Star Wars 4 where they didn't film enough, and they were like cutting and pasting like the scene with the Sandmen,
right?
Lifting the thing up.
The Tusken Raiders, yeah,
the Tusken Raiders. They had to just redo the same thing because they didn't
do enough. Yeah, they didn't shoot enough, so they had to like reprocess the film to make it exactly. Yeah. That happens. Back then, they were that first Star Wars film. He in today's dollars, he had it was a low budget movie, so he did a really great job. Yeah. And he also was smart because he went out into all the conventions back then. He went to San Diego Comic-Con. I think it was one of the first years it was out. So he went to the crowd of Star Wars nerds or geeks and was appealing to him. So he was going to conventions. So George Lucas is really a smart man. He's really responsible for the reason why Star Wars is part of our culture.
How do you think about he got some criticism when he did the prequels, and he was kind of he seemed a little defensive about it to me. As he's always saying his favorite character is Jar Jar Binks and that sort of thing. But what did you think about the prequels? And
well, I mean, I could see where there could be some criticism, but I mean, he's the creator. I mean,
yeah.
If you watch the ones that George Lucas directed, even the first one and then the prequels, as the technology increased, the shots, the way he set up everything, it's brilliant. The photography, the way he created the different worlds, how he pushed the envelope over and over and over. Yeah, it did lack a little bit of storyline, and yeah, that character may have been funny to George. And I have my not my generation, but my sister, her kids grew up, and what you find is people that grew up watching the prequels and didn't see the original Star Wars, they love the prequels because they don't do anything different. That's the first thing they saw, so they love it. And just like we're having a new stuff that just came out, that the third generation is going to love the stuff that J.J. Abrams did. So it's for whatever generation it is, but I thought he did a very good job making them. I know that Marcia Lucas, his wife, was very instrumental in editing the first original trilogy, and they would go back and forth about how she wanted to make, she would re-edit things, say, no, someone won't speak like that. And you hear actors talk about that. George, you could write this stuff, but we can't say it. And that's just from the mind of a brilliant, genius man.
Yeah.
But he had his wife at that time who helped a lot, and she really helped bring that heart. And I think that's one of the things that J.J. Abrams and him are bringing, except for this last one, The Last Jedi. I see the backlash there, but I think they're bringing back, and this next Rise of Skywalker is really going to be awesome.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
I think JJ is going to bring it home.
Do you get special things when those things happen? Or
yeah, we get special stuff for that, and I'm actually there's going to be a premiere with some of us actors in Dallas. So I'm actually going to be in Dallas for the premiere there.
Sweet.
A bunch of the actors that are in it, like Mike Quinn, who plays Neen Num's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Who else? Mark Dotson, who did the voice of Salacious Crumb, the Jabba the Hutt's little the creature.
Yeah.
He did some other voices. He also did the Gremlins voices, a lot of those as well.
Fantastic.
And we're going to have a great time for the premiere. It's going to be awesing. Taking over Dallas.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Rachel just joined.
Anybody in Dallas, the weekend of Rise of Skywalker, come to Order 66 Toys. That's where we're all going to be in Dallas. So Order 66 Toys.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll put that in the video when I'm done here.
Great.
Rachel says, who's the guy? So basically, Rachel, it's Eric Walker, and he was the star of the Ewok Adventures Caravan of Courage back in 1983. Am I right?
1984.
84.
83 was Jedi. 84 was the Ewok Adventure Caravan of Courage. And in 85, we did a second movie called Ewoks: The Battle for Endor, which had Wilford Brimley in it.
Oh.
And
yeah.
And Sean Phillips from Dune was in that one as well. Played the witch.
I've seen Wilford Brimley now. Did he pass or not?
No, he didn't. In fact, we're going to do a convention together in February next year in Pensacola.
Okay.
So he's like 82 years old. So everybody, if you're in Pensacola in the Florida area, come out next February to Pensacon, because he's getting up there. You want to meet that man.
I think I saw him at D23.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So just so you know, Eric and everyone else, I actually in about 7 minutes have to cut out. So I wanted to. There's some questions here.
Okay, great.
All behind, but I also wanted to just say a couple more things about Eric. One is he's a musician, and Eric, I was listening to your stuff today. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I came back from the so I'm going to ask you this question: is Tangier Dream a play on Tangerine Dream?
I would be lying if I said no.
Okay, I love Tangerine Dream.
But they are my mentors, of course, Edgar Froese and all of them. In fact, on my newest album, Brand New Day, I wrote a tribute song called For Edgar, which is for him.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I mean, you brought back so many great memories of when I got into that genre. I'm going to say some of the artists. You may not like them all, but Yanni.
Yes, like Yanni. I saw him many times.
Yeah, seen Yanni. Gosh, I know, but look on YouTube, everybody. Look at Tangier Dream, Tangier, and Eric is it's an incredible music, and so check that out.
If you just go on YouTube, you type in Eric Walker music, you'll see I have 3 albums. One of them he mentioned, Tangier Dream. Universal Delight is my second album, and the new one is Brand New Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Why don't you go ahead and just wrap it up and tell us what your plans are in live streaming, what else you're doing, anything you want to tell us?
Well, I'm glad I met Dean, and I reached out to him because I'm very proud that my podcast is going to be, and streaming is going to be part of the live place. Yeah. And what we're doing is we're AllForSciFi is the name. and it's just all one word, ALLOFR, AllForSciFi.com. And we'll do everything that deals with sci-fi. And who doesn't love sci-fi, right? Whether it's Star Wars, like we're talking about now, or it's Star Trek, or it's Terminator, or it's Jumanji, or it's anything sci-fi related, we're going to cover. We're also doing a live stream starting next year every week from Galaxy's Edge out here in California. So check out our live streams, and we also do a live stream once a week to do reviews on whatever's out currently, whatever sci-fi movie's out. Like this week, we're doing Jumanji, and we're doing The Mandalorian. Of course, that's a big sci-fi thing. Where every week we're talking about The Mandalorian, and we also will be streaming from live events too. Like you mentioned, D23. We'll do live streams from D23 from next year. The big Star Wars Celebration. We're going to be doing that live from Celebration in Anaheim. We're doing Pasadena Comic Con. We're doing LA Comic Con. We're doing San Diego WonderCon. We're doing all of them.
Wow.
So check us out, AllForSciFi.com, and on social media, it's just the same handle, AllForSciFi, everywhere, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, everything, just AllForSciFi.
Perfect.
That's us.
So AllForSciFi, and I purposely didn't post it to the live place until we did this game. So thank you for doing that, Eric. So we'll get him set up, and he's got these great live streams planned. And you got the podcast kind of in there as well, right?
Yes, we do. Steve said, "What's your YouTube name?" For the podcast and stream, it's AllForSciFi. It's just at AllForSciFi. For my music, it's Eric Walker Music on YouTube.
Okay. And that's what Mike was just saying here, is he looked up your Dare to Dream. And I listened to that. You've done actually some audio for Star Wars, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So. All right. Well, thank you very much, Eric. And thank you for everyone who is able to join. And we look forward to working with you and having you in this community.
I'm excited, guys. Let's do this.
All right. Thank you. All right. Hold on for a second, Eric. I'm going to end the broadcast here. So thanks for everyone for joining, and we'll be talking to you soon. All right. Have a good night.